Coming up on this edition of Capture, we sit down with SGA's presidential candidates, break down the new general education requirements, and take a look at how some APU students spent their Valentine's Day.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Capture. I'm Landon Troca.
And I'm Faith Vandervoort. It is with heavy hearts that we report Avery Huffman passed away Tuesday morning. The 7-year-old daughter of alumni Brandon and Amanda Huffman succumbed to a 7-month battle with a rare and aggressive brain tumor. We first spotlighted Avery and the Huffmans in the fall when the athletic department hosted a fundraiser for the family.
Brandon and Amanda shared the news via Caring Bridge hours after her passing, writing, "While our hearts are broken here on earth, we rejoice that Avery is no longer in pain, no longer is suffering, is walking, is running, is waving both her arms, can see clearly with both of her eyes, and is in the kingdom of God. She is healed, and she is cancer-free."
The team here at Capture sends our condolences to the Huffman family. Moving on to other news, President Obama and the Republican-controlled Senate are at odds after the passing of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. He passed away Saturday at the age of 79. Scalia was appointed by Ronald Reagan and served on the bench for nearly 30 years. He was widely known for his conservative values and interpretation of the Constitution according to its original context. His funeral service is set for Saturday. As it's the president's duty to appoint a new justice and the Senate's job to confirm, we'll most likely see a delay in the confirmation process following a nomination. The appointment is a popular point of discussion for presidential candidates who are back on the campaign trail, gearing up for the South Carolina primary. The Republican debate Saturday night caused waves among the GOP candidates after Donald Trump made unfavorable comments about George W. Bush following the news that he would be joining his brother Jeb in South Carolina. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are also vying for the favor of South Carolina voters who will head to the polls on February 27th for the Democratic primary following the Republican primary this Saturday. The Nevada caucuses will also be held Saturday, during which the Democrats will face off.
The Student Government Association is also getting ready for a change in executive power.
We'll send it over to Caitlin Slater with more information on the upcoming elections.
Thanks, Faith. This week, Capture sat down with the 4 presidential candidates to discuss their platforms. Here's Capture reporter Kellen Struskema with more.
The 4 candidates running for student body president each spoke to us about their unique visions for the 2016-17 school year. Hofstep Shaparian, a senior business economics major, is the founder and president of 3 different campus groups, a member of the speech and debate team, and is a part of the School of Business and Management Career Fair and Forum.
There are 4 very specific goals that I will enact on day 1 once I become president. And the first thing is going to be to increase education and conversation on diversity. The second is going to be to have departments responsible for providing students with postgraduate jobs once they graduate. Number 3 is going to be free membership, gym membership for all APU students, which Tri-Hat has already agreed to once I become president. And 4 is going to be to increase safety by having active shooter drills on the school-wide campus.
Junior Martha Hung is studying general psychology with a minor in business management. Her leadership has included being a resident advisor and working in various offices on campus.
Being the only girl is kind of scary. It's daunting, for sure, but I do think that it is a challenge in itself, and it allows me to open the opportunity for other women on campus to know that they have a voice and they have a place on this campus. Being who I am and knowing who I am in creating a school year that just looks so different than previous school years is I think my biggest desire.
Junior
the minority of the minorities, and as an international student, I feel like I understand what that means more so than people who are not international students, and I can sympathize and empathize. I'm well integrated into the APU community, that I understand the need of both sides, and I think that's what the student body needs.
Cole Meisel, junior accounting major, serves as the resident advisor in the Honors College, vice president of the Accounting Honor Society, and is a multi-ethnic leadership scholar.
This isn't a political stance. This isn't a political statement. It's not about which political party you're in. It's not about your beliefs. It's simply about respecting people and inclusivity, making an environment where everyone feels safe and everyone feels like they have the room and the opportunities to grow with the same opportunities that other people have as well. Aside from the issue of diversity, I'd really like to address just a continual improvement to foster a community on campus where we continually strive to really follow Christ in everything we do.
Campaigns for next year's SGA president, vice president, and controller will begin tomorrow. All candidates will deliver speeches during the SGA chapel scheduled for Friday, February 26th. Ballots for the elected executive positions will then open and be emailed at 11 a.m. and will close on February 29th at 11:59 p.m. The SGA presidential election will be determined by the majority vote. Because of the amount of candidates, SGA believes the presidential election will likely end in a runoff between two candidates. For more information on the election calendar and SGA positions, visit www.apusga.org. We spoke with current president Max Walden about the work done by this year's team.
SGA has hit the ground running this semester. We're working on a few different projects, actually a lot of projects at once as usual, but some of the highlights include starting some focus groups to get input from the students, and then we're also doing our best to produce a newsletter to send out to the students, which will actually be coming out here in the next week or so. We have a gender identity forum that will be, I think, on February the 18th. And a couple of other things. We're putting up a wall of nations with flags representing each of the home countries of some of our students. Our emphasis this year has been focusing on the longevity of SGA because we're an organization that lasts far beyond my 1 year of tenure or anyone's even 4 years of school here. And so some of our best efforts have actually been internally working on the structure of how SGA works, so that next year's staff and future staffs aren't encumbered by some of the things that have been traditionally done that have actually probably held us back from being able to work really well for the student body.
In addition, SGA has plans in motion to swap spaces with the East Campus Coffee Shop this coming fall. Now back to you, Faith and Landon.
Thanks, Caitlin. The Center for Student Action is introducing big changes to its Spring LA 101 trips. Previously, the only CSA program to not offer service opportunities, students will now have the chance to work with 3 new LA 101 partners.
The trip will also be reduced from 4 days to 3, with visits to museums and cultural centers still on the schedule. The first LA 101 trip is scheduled for March 18th through the 20th and will cost $150. Participants will also receive 30 service credits.
The general education program is also undergoing some significant changes for the coming fall. Here's Capture reporter Dadrian Thompson with more.
Starting fall 2016, students will be introduced to a revised general education program that will better shape their education. According to the Director of General Education, the new revised program will incorporate an improved writing program, new GE categories, and an increased overlap of major courses that count for GE.
What we're shifting to is what's called an outcomes-based program. So rather than hoping that students will pick up certain kinds of general education skills and values, what you do with an outcomes-based program is you say, what would we like an APU graduate to look like when he or she is finished with 4 years of school here at this institution?
The new GE categories include civic knowledge and engagement, intercultural competence, integrative learning, and applied learning. Incoming students will be introduced to this revised program in the coming fall, and current students will be given the option to switch to the program.
I think the changes are great. I think it gives students more flexibility, and I think the new classes that are being offered as a result of the new general ed program are really, really cool. I think it does better prepare students for post-grad jobs, and I think it's a more fun program overall.
Current students are encouraged to look into the changes that are taking place and will be provided with a number of resources, which include the Office of Academic Advising and Retention, as well as skilled advisors in each department.
To hear more about the GE changes taking place, check your APU inbox for an email with more information. Now, taking a look into APU athletics. Men's and women's basketball headlined a busy President's Day weekend for the Cougars, securing wins against Point Loma on Saturday night. It was the 8th straight victory for the women, who extended their win streak again Monday night against Dominican. The men collected their 18th win, holding off Dominican 96-94 in double overtime. Both teams will take on Concordia tomorrow in the Felix Event Center. The baseball team didn't have the same luck, getting swept by Cal State Monterey Bay in a 4-game set. Softball split a doubleheader against Concordia University of Oregon last weekend, winning the second leg on a walk-off hit by Annalise Davis. Swimming and diving wrapped up the regular season with the PCSC Championship. Abigail White earned an NCAA B time, and we'll find out if she makes the cut for the NCAA Division II Championship meet on Monday.
APU students showed their love in a unique way on Sunday. A group spent part of their Valentine's Day serving the local community by volunteering at a retirement home in San Dimas.
The students and the residents spent the afternoon in a festive ballroom dancing and visiting with one another. Later that evening, a Valentine's king and queen were announced and crowned in front of all of the guests.
That is all we have for this edition of Capture. Be sure to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at APU Capture.
We'll see you next time.